Hey folks, how you doing? I got a video here. I'm gonna talk about the topic. I'm talking about the judgment. Whoa. Well, people say when they hear about the judgment, oh man, people get a little nervous. You know what I mean? So, oh, what? Because everybody feels though they might have did a little something somewhere along the road. You know what I mean? Well, and they might be judged unfavorably or whatever. You know what I mean? Okay. So we can get that thought out of our mind. So in the scriptures, judgment doesn't mean that. It doesn't mean that somebody or something from up in the sky will come and judge you. No. This judgment has to do with a person making clear decisions. The person is the judge. He makes the judgment call. A person makes a judgment call when he decides to do something. He's the judge. He's judging the situation, how he should deal with the situation, the decision that he should make. Okay? So, okay, we see in the hieroglyphics, okay, we see, well, you might call it maybe the name or one of the names of the god Osiris. This is the Kemite god, the last Kemite god. We can say that. Yeah, the last Kemite god. But they changed over to the Christ after that, to Jesus Christ after him. Okay, so all the scriptures are the same. They tell the same story, really. The actual scripture does. I don't know what the message is when people receives it, but the scripture tells the story. Okay, it gives you the 360, the complete thing. Okay, so we have with the God of Swords, we have a seat, and we have an eye. There's one eye. Okay, and so we take a look at the seat. Okay, it has a long back to it. Long back to the seat. Okay, the bottom of the seat though extends out. Okay, a little beyond the back of the seat, like a chair does. Okay, and so well, what is the back? You say the back is the backbone. You see, now we're talking about making good judgments. Oh, then the backbone must come into play. We also have the lower part of the seat that extends out a little further than the back of the seat. And it sort of extends, if that's the backbone, then that seat extends over to the reproductive area of a person or whatever. The genital area. Okay? Oh, now, okay? Now we're talking about opening the third eye. Okay? Because along the backbone, we have nerve plexus. You see, and these nerve plexes come into play, all right, and also the power of reproductive hormone comes into play. Okay, well, these things together can work to open the third eye, along with breathing. Okay, your deep breathing exercises, which play a role. Okay? But anyway, back to the judgment scene, we have the eye. Oh, yeah, okay. That's the third eye. And when this eye opens, the person makes excellent judgments. Okay? He makes a judgment, and it's the perfect judgment. Because his perceptual capacity has increased maybe 1,000-fold. He sees well. This is why they say God sees everything and knows everything. It has to do with this third eye. Okay? So anyway, let's say that the judgment seat is about making good decisions. Okay? And as I said, opening the eye. So, but these judgments, of course, has to do with a person judging himself. You see, a person must judge himself first, And then he can make judgments relative to the external world, whether he should do this or that, do it this way or that way. You see. But what happens here with a person when he involves, let's say, the reproductive hormones, he involves the breathing exercise, he involves the plexus along the backbone? Okay? He's creating a situation within himself. He is creating an environment within himself where good judgments will occur. Okay? And it will also open, let's say, the third eye. Okay? And so when this happens, we say, well, he has created the proper environment within himself. And when this is done, what a person wants will come into existence. This is calling into existence. Okay? So a person may want, for example, to acquire certain skills. Oh, here's a skill of judgment. Making good judgments is a skill too. Or whatever the situation may be for a person. You know? He is able to call on the law of necessity, okay, by creating himself, within himself, an environment in which what he wills to come about will come about. We are first talking about himself. He wants to make good judgments. He wants to evoke good skills, okay, and the law of necessity says that if the environment, okay, is perfect for the coming into being of an event, then it will come of necessity. You see. So if the person creates within himself the perfect environment to be a good judge, judging himself and stuff, a good judge, then he'll become a good judge. We're talking about self-judgment, though. I'm not talking about judging other people. Okay. We're going by the mystic judgment seat and the mystic eye. Okay. That's the opener. Open the eye. And in this way, a person can call into existence the art of judgment or any other skill that he wishes to acquire. And when a person is able to make these good judgments, he avoids mishap because he's making good decisions, good determinations. Okay? So he avoids trouble. You know, trouble can come down the line after a person makes a decision to do something. Well, it might seem fine at first, but a little bit down the line, it might not be too good. This is why they say you should be careful about what you ask for in this life. You might be asking for something that's going to turn sour on you down the line, as things do sometime. Okay? So we call into existence the correct thing. Okay? Because we are able to see correctly. Okay? Because we have opened this eye. Okay? Now, people here opening the earth, how do you do that? Well, you do it through simple exercises. You know, if a person, for example, goes jogging, something like that, where he takes the deep breaths, you know what I mean? This here can clear some of the debris out of the mind. If he wants to, he's thinking about something, you got to make a decision about something. Yeah, and things keep sort of interfering. Oh, a jogging exercise will help that. It clears this debris out of the mind. The breathing. It's the deep breathing that occurs when a person does this exercise, jogging in this case. You know, but a lot of that energy goes to the muscles of the body too. You got to sustain the muscles. So if a person is sitting down on some type of posture, you know what I mean, and he does his deep breathing exercises, well then all that energy or whatnot is going to the brain. It doesn't have to go to the muscles of the body because they're really not being used. He's relaxed. Okay, so now we see that good decision making, okay, avoids a mishap. So this also avoids what we call psychosomatic illnesses. This is when a person turns his consciousness against himself. Well, they explain it. They say, well, a person has the emotional disturbance. I guess so. He's turning his consciousness against himself, and this causes these psychosomatic illnesses. The person gets sick, gets ill, okay? But he's making bad judgments, you see. And to avoid this, what he has to do is clear the debris out of his mind. Something's blocking good judgment. Well, then he should do the exercise. He should do some deep breathing exercises. It puts a person on track, the right track, okay? And it has to do with self-knowledge. Doing these things, a person acquires self-knowledge. He's learning about his own physiology. Yeah, people say, well, I know myself. They're talking about their personality. You know what I mean? I'm talking about the functioning of the inner body and the brain. Right on down the legs to the feet. We have nerve plexus all over the body. Okay? So these are the things we're talking about. When we talk about opening the third eye, yeah, we get all those things sort of straightened out. You know, we know what's going on. You know what I mean? And this also involves timing. And time is always of the essence. There's, like they say, there's a right time for everything. Okay? So, yeah, timing is important, you know. So that's it for the judgment. Now, we know now that the judgment is not about some person or some God judging us. It's about us making good judgments, good decision making. That's what it's about. No God up there is going to come and judge you. Okay. If any judging goes on, serious judging, the person will be judging him or herself. You see what I mean? And making decisions about what they should do. That's where the judgment comes in, folks. Now, the scriptures tells us things, and in such a way that gives a totally different impression, okay, than what the scripture actually means. Okay. It's up to the clergy, you know. These things should be practiced in the religious institution. That's where they should be practiced. Oh, a person can do it at home, too. Well, that's what religion is about. Telling people how to create a good life for themselves. A knowledgeable life. An intelligent life. That's what the ancient scripture was about. Okay, folks. Have a good one, and I'll be back with you. All right, bye.